But you know what? You know what? Instead of that, chat, how y'all doing, huh? How are y'all doing today? Hmm? How y'all doing today on a Friday? On a TGIF today, okay? We'll be diving into some videos like this, and as you could probably see, they are from Explore With Us. So, since I was looking at this right now, and I already know this is going to be, I'm not going to say enjoyable, just going to be something good to look at. Something to where how bad can this go? So, let's just dive on into it.
Don't believe in them. They are not your sons. Don't believe in them.
Be honest, baby. It's okay.
Because you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better.
When they pull this GPS, will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked. You don't know?
This is some that's serious. You will kill my family. What am I supposed to do?
Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association.
I don't know.
Snitching on everybody. If I was gonna get charged.
Snitching.
I said I don't know.
My life is ruined.
When the bodies of 3 teenagers were discovered over a period of several days in the same neighborhood in Marion County, Florida, the police didn't know what to think. This would set the tone for the rest of the case, as the emerging suspects all seemed intent on blaming each other. The identity of the alleged perpetrator, along with the motive for the heartless murders, turned out to be more alarming than anyone wanted to believe. The police first learned that something was terribly wrong just before midnight on March 30th, 2023, when they received this 911 call.
There's a girl laying in front of my road and she's dying.
Okay, is she awake?
She's dying, I don't know. She's bleeding out of her head. She's gargling on her blood.
You need to turn her on her side so she doesn't choke, okay?
It doesn't matter what side? Like, on what side?
No, just turn her on her side so she doesn't choke on the blood, okay?
Oh, God.
Is she awake?
No.
Okay, is she breathing?
She's breathing.
Oh.
Do you know how far they are?
I don't have any ETA, but they are on the way, okay?
Deputies from the Marion County Sheriff's Department arrived moments before the ambulance. While paramedics rushed to try to save the victim, the deputies tried to get a grasp on the chaotic scene. Within 5 minutes of the ambulance arriving, the victim was on her way to the nearest hospital. The Sheriff's Department was left to pick apart the seemingly inexplicable scene.
She's not responsive?
No, not responsive. No, there's no ID, no nothing.
Young girl, older girl? Younger girl.
The shoe's right there, and that's been moved.
She was right there, right?
Yeah. And there's blood everywhere. I was not expecting that.
No. Well, I thought it was going to be BS, honestly.
Yeah, I immediately thought she had got, like, hit by a car. And I seen the big, but I've never seen an exit wound in a head.
Yeah.
So I wasn't aware. Oh, yeah. She's laying down. It's all pulled out. I mean, it was...
And she was still breathing?
Rapid breathing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Medic said she ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, if she did, that's wild.
When police made contact with the 911 caller, they learned that he was just as confused about the situation as the deputies. He only became aware that something was amiss when he got a call from his neighbor across the street.
You didn't hear nothing at all?
She told me it sounded like someone crashed into my dumpster and then there was like 2 shots.
The neighbor in question made her way over to talk to the deputies directly. Unfortunately, what she said only served to make the situation even more mysterious.
So, around what time did you hear? You said it sounded like a gun,
Yeah, it wasn't a loud gunshot. I would say about 20, 30 minutes ago. It wasn't a loud gunshot, but I heard about 4 or 5. And I kind of blew it off casually, and then I just looked out of my window because I did think it was strange with it, how late it was. And I saw the car run into the dumpster. Mm-hmm. And once I seen the car run into the dumpster, I stepped out my door, and I seen a man run out of the car down the road towards my yard, and I yelled at him, "What the fuck were you doing?" And then I seen him run back towards the car, take a minute, and I was calling him because it was his dumpster, and I seen him skirt off into the neighborhood.
You know, did you see if anybody was in? Was it only one? Was there
I
several
only
people?
seen one person running, and it was a male. It had a male figure, had a hat on. I want to say he was like 5 foot, maybe, but it was only one dude running down the road.
This once again tracked with the evidence as police found several sets of footprints at the scene.
Did you hear the crash first, or did you hear what sounded like
I heard the gunshots first.
Where did you?
The deputies closed down the main entrances and exits to the Forest Lakes Park neighborhood, hoping to catch the alleged shooter as he attempted to flee. Unfortunately, the area was heavily wooded, with plenty of places to hide and lots of back roads. This made for a difficult search for police, and an easy getaway for the alleged perpetrator. Meanwhile, the hospital where the victim was being treated was able to provide some help in that regard. They identified the girl as 16-year-old Layla Silvernail. Her grandparents, who were her legal guardians, were understandably distraught. Detectives first made contact with her grandfather, Kenneth.
Layla was found, she was apparently with a gunshot wound, and she was taken to the hospital. So that's part of the reason why we came here, was to let you know about her status, but we also wanted to know any information that you had about who she was with yesterday, who she hanged out with.
What's she in the hospital for?
She had a gunshot
shot.
wound.
Huh?
She was shot.
You're kidding.
No, that's what I told you when
This is what I've been trying to tell her. You're hanging around with a crew.
Kenneth hurried to the back of the house to get his wife, Lisa.
I'm just surprised.
Layla's grandmother only seemed to become more distressed when the detectives tried to ask her questions.
Lisa, come here. Lisa, have a seat right here.
Is my granddaughter okay? Will she be okay?
She's going to be at the hospital. I don't know anything. That's why
I'm the victim advocate, okay? I'm here for you. Have a seat for us. We need some information so we can find out who did this, okay?
I'd like to know too.
We
will go and I will shoot their asses. Oh no!
Listen now.
Where was she shot at? Does anybody know anything?
She was shot in the head. Listen, that's all we have right now, okay?
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
The situation was actually more horrifying than Lisa knew.
Damn, man.
Early on March 31st, the morning after the shooting, the police stumbled upon the last thing they were expecting. Just blocks away from the crime scene where Layla was found, police discovered a second victim, also suffering from a gunshot wound. There was little doubt that the two cases were connected, which made the search for the shooter all the more urgent. Back with Layla's grandparents, the detectives desperately tried to find out who might have been with Layla that night. Since they'd already found two victims, they had to wonder if more of her friends were hurt, or in danger too.
Lisa, look at me. Who was she with yesterday?
She came here with, and I'm gonna tell you everything, because I don't like the people she hangs around with anyway.
Okay, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Lisa said Layla was almost always with her boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael Hodo. She also directed the police to Layla's best friend, who might have more information about her activities the day before the shooting.
Now look. Now you say that you don't like the people she's hanging around with. First of all, why you never thought about like telling her about that? But the thing about it is, she's 16. She's gonna be saying, "I'm an adult now. I can do whatever I want. I can talk to whoever I want to talk to. These people are cool. I'm cool with them. They're cool with me." But the stuff like this is like, bruh. Yo, hold up, what was that? Yo, appreciate that, yo. But no, I wanna just talk. I just wanna say this real quick. If you're a parent and you see that your kid is hanging out with an individual that your gut feeling is telling you danger, threat, I'm concerned that if you keep hanging out with this individual, it's going to be bad for you. You're either going to be in trouble or you're going to be Are you gonna be gone? Dang, girl, man, got shot in the head, man. Now I can understand, like, got shot in the arm and the leg. Okay, y'all, hey, be good to go. You be good to go, right? Just a few months of healing, you'll be back on your feet in no time. But shot in the head, though, man. Yeah, you know that's for. You know that is for real sorrow coming from the grandmother. That is like legit sorrow coming from her. If like you heard that, like just like you hardly ever hear someone like cry in pain and everything. But she was like dead for real, just in pain, knowing that, oh, she got shot. This can't be happening. But in the head though, man, like she knew. Yo, grandma said she wants blood, and I don't blame her too. When she finds out who did it, man, that's it. It's all like game over from here, man. Wow, man, you was like, what's the purpose of doing stuff like this? Like, bro, like if it's not too late to leave. No one's gonna blame you for that. You're not part of this group anymore. No one's gonna laugh at you knowing that I decided not to do this anymore because it's dangerous and all I wanted was to hang out. But no, I'm going to end up getting killed, end up getting in trouble. Nah, man, it's not worth it. It's not.
Another name came up too, and it was one police were already familiar with.
And then that runaway girl, Camille.
Okay.
She was with her too yesterday.
Camille Quarles, 16, had been reported as a runaway by her aunt and legal guardian several weeks prior. It was an open secret that she'd been staying with Layla at her grandparents' house, but no one had successfully brought her home yet. When police made contact with Camille's aunt, Amy, she was not shy about expressing her frustration with the investigation.
I did call it in this morning to ask somebody to go through there, and nobody has called me back. I've called 5 or 6 times a day since she's been gone.
Even worse, Amy's son was hearing all kinds of gossip about the case at school. People were saying Camille had also been shot. The names of the victims and the location of the crime was seemingly common knowledge. Disturbingly, police had not yet confirmed if Camille was involved. Also, they'd not yet released the names of the victims or the location, which meant whoever was spreading this information had to be involved.
And there was another body discovered this morning in that neighborhood.
Okay.
I want to know if it's my child.
Okay, the second person is not Camille. I can't identify who that person is, but it's not her.
The identity of the second victim only made the case more dire, especially in regards to Camille's safety. Frustratingly, the police were still in the dark about most of the lead up to the crime, up until they got in touch with Layla's best friend, Gabby. She was more forthcoming and told the detectives that she'd spent the day with Layla and her boyfriend, Michael Hodo, and several other teens who would soon become an integral part of the case.
Was there anybody else in the car other than you, Layla, anytime during the day?
Camille was there.
This was the second statement placing Camille at the scene of the crime, but disturbingly, there was still no sign of her. Prior to the shooting, Camille's aunt said she'd caught sight of her at the park once or twice, and kept a close eye on her Instagram feed to see what she was up to. Since the night of the 30th, though, it had been radio silence. Back with the detectives, Layla's friend recounted their travels throughout the day, and who else was with the group.
We went to Rob's. We went to I don't know if it's abandoned. Do you know what a trap house is? Yeah. Okay, so apparently, this kid Rob, I don't know him personally, but they do. Okay. They're friends or whatever, and we went over there and we chilled over there.
Significantly, Gabby said that Layla had been the one driving all day, but the only sign of her vehicle, a white Chevy Cruze, was a tire track left at the crime scene. The police hoped that finding the vehicle would offer some insight into what happened the night Layla was shot.
Do you know his last name or anything else about Rob?
No, I don't really know if Rob is his real name or not, because I know some people know him as Reaper, Rob, and stuff like that. So
was anyone else there at the house besides the three of you and Rob?
Well, there was this kid 3-5, but I don't know his real name.
What's 3-5 look like?
I don't know. He's 12. He's a little kid.
A 12-year-old?
Detectives knew they needed to track down Rob and 3-5. They started with Rob, who they believed to be 17-year-old Robert Robinson, who was already incarcerated at a juvenile detention facility for a different offense. When detectives asked him about 3-5, he directed them to a boy named Christopher Atkins. Shockingly, Gabby was right. He was only 12 years old. Since Chris and Rob were both minors, their mothers were asked to join them at the police station before any conversations took place. Chris's mother, Ashley, was the first to arrive.
I don't understand. Where the hell is my son? If he being questioned, why the fuck I'm not in there? Which thing's on? Where's my son?
I mean, she's not even like, she's in her doggone pajamas.
No, they're all getting their stuff together.
It seems she wasn't convinced they weren't already questioning him, because Ashley did her best to hear what was going on in the other room.
I mean, if it involves your kid, you're going to be curious.
After almost 2 hours of waiting, she was finally escorted to the next room to join Chris, who was visibly trembling.
Can I put this on? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Did you want another jacket? Okay. Are you sure? You look like you're cold. Let me get you.
You say you have 4 siblings? Okay. You guys get along okay in the house?
The detectives set about gradually breaking the ice with Chris, all the time appearing hyper-aware that he was only 12 years old. After taking all necessary precautions, like making both Chris and his mother aware of their rights, and establishing on record that Chris knew the difference between right and wrong, they finally got to the issue at hand.
Oh,
so
here we go.
What I would like to start with talking to you about is, and like I said, I just want you to be honest with us. I'd like you to talk to me about last Thursday night.
First, we made something to eat. Then we watched TV. And I went to sleep for a little bit. And I heard something outside. I opened the door. There was nothing outside now. I think I went to sleep.
So I think what you just told me was what you probably had rehearsed in your mind several times to tell a police officer if you ever had to talk about that Thursday night. Because sitting here and talking to you with your mom here crying and knowing that you have these siblings, you're probably in sort of an embarrassing and shameful position. If you are sorry for what happened, repent for it and start from the very beginning and go to the very end without me having to pull it from you. Because somebody that I have to pull each individual action from, that tells me that they don't really want to say what they did wrong, that they don't feel bad for it.
Reaper down there has been super honest. He it took him a minute to get comfortable with me, and he's told me everything down to details that only he would know, and
that's involved in
that nobody else would know.
Some of the details, he points finger at you.
17-year-old Rob, also known by the concerning moniker Reaper, was also being questioned.
Oh, brother.
Just like Chris, Rob and his mom Erica were both advised of their Miranda rights before the interrogation commenced.
I'm trying to bring the best way to say this to you guys. We're investigating several different incidents that occurred over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
One being a theft of side-by-side. One being the theft of, a burglary. We're investigating a robbery, and we're investigating a murder. Okay?
He's like, wait, what?
Murder.
Wait, hold on, what?
So,
that word got him good. Murder?
The first ones you named is believable. The last one you named is not. You don't have the heart to keep it up. I know that for a fact.
Okay. What'd you do on Thursday all day?
I mean, I was home all day. Like, I was home all Thursday.
Okay. Who were you with? Did anybody come over? Did we hang out with anybody? Did you go anywhere with anybody?
I didn't go nowhere. Came over at like 1 o'clock.
What'd you guys do then?
We were just chilling. Literally, like, we were just chilling.
Okay. Was anybody with at the time? How did he get to your house? Things like that?
Supposed to drove to my house. It was him, Landon, Layla, and there was another girl with them. I don't know her name.
Sosa was a nickname that Layla's boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael, used. Michael's father had last seen him about 6:30 last night, around the same time Gabby said she parted ways with the group.
Okay.
Landon was another local boy who police determined didn't know anything that would aid the investigation. As for the unnamed girl, the police likely wondered if she could be the missing Camille and why she hadn't been seen or heard from since.
Did you go anywhere after 6:30, Rob?
Whoa, why do y'all keep asking that?
I just
We
want
keep
to
asking because we've been working on our investigations for
What do
several
y'all
days.
think happened, bro? I'm telling you,
You understand?
was in the house
You understand,
that
Rob?
night. Like I only seen Sosa one time that day.
Rob, we know you were out of the house after 6:30. Okay?
Bro,
We know you were with around 7 o'clock p.m.
Thanks to CCTV footage, police believed that Rob, along with others in the friend group, had been involved in the theft of a vehicle and an armed robbery that night.
Oh, boy.
As serious as these crimes were, they paled in comparison to what police...
First thing, you're 17. What are you doing theft for? You're 17. You're still a kid, okay? You're still a kid. So why would you be involved around theft and the murder? Oh man, the word murder, that made his eyes grow 3 sizes that moment. Bro, theft, if you could tell, theft did not bother him. Like theft, yeah, I do it all the time. But murder, whoa, I'm not a killer. Let's put. I may be a stealer, I may be a robber, okay, but I would never kill someone. Let's not go down that road because that road doesn't exist. But you're 17. At the age of 17, the only thing you should be thinking about is games, passing your grades, and probably trying to take that girl out on a date. But 17, you're going out stealing? You're going out robbing? And it's like, oh, let's do this so we don't get caught. But the moment you get caught, that's when, oh no, am I going to sing a different tune? It's like you're either the type to where I am in pressure, I'm shaking, I'm trembling, I'm about to start crying and everything, or you're one of those deranged types to thinking that, I kind of murdered that person. Yeah, and just describe it in pure detail.
Police believed happened later. Back in the room with Chris, his mother tried to make him understand the severity of the situation.
Well, you need to tell if you ain't.
Now's the time.
Now's the whole story. House Thursday when I told you not to. And you finna speak.
Time to start. You better start singing. You're 12 years old.
What the plan was that night. So there's. We know what the original plan was. We're asking you now to be honest, and to come forth and tell us what happened and why it happened.
Ain't no point in keeping it a secret. You're 12.
I never want to
Your life hasn't even started yet.
Reaper, a.k.a. Rob, took a lot of convincing before he opened up.
A lot of convincing.
Right now, you're protecting KTM and your buddies. You need to think about protecting yourself.
The disturbing meaning behind KTM will be revealed in due time.
Okay.
For now, the fact that the police knew about the mysterious phrase was enough to get Rob talking, albeit reluctantly.
Wow.
Was that else?
When you were with
they're slowly cracking him.
3-5.
3-5.
Layla was there.
Yep.
And that was it.
The police knew by now that there were more people at the house than just Chris, Rob, Michael, and Layla.
Did you go anywhere with them that night?
No, I ain't go nowhere with them. I just told you. I swear to God, was at the house. They said they was finna leave. I went back home. Actually, Mom, I didn't come in until late. I didn't come in until after 7 anyways.
You don't know what time you came home. Now,
but they talking about what now? Mulaka at 7:10.
What I'm saying is, you don't know what time you came home because you defy your curfew so much. You don't know what time you came in. It might have been 8 o'clock. It might have been 7:30. It might have. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. What I'm saying is, if you know something that they're trying to get out of you, I don't give a who your friends are, who you trying to protect. I gotta get to work, and I'm sick of dealing with this jail. Because you choose to have friends. You need to be honest.
Unfortunately for Rob, the police already knew that he was still holding back the dark details of what he...
Bro, you're 17. Why are you defending? Why are you defending people that is getting you in trouble? If you're in a situation to where, either I tell them everything that has happened, or I go to jail for a long time. Like, I see right now, he's part of this, and he's holding back. Like, I'm throwing out little bit pieces here and there to make it sound convincing. But the thing about it is, though, don't be that type. Don't be. And the thing is, mother, you got your mother into this. You got your mom into this, man. Like, bruh, how does that make you? How does it make you look right now, knowing that you're trying to convince them? And the thing about it is, it's like they already know. They're just trying to see, is he gonna tell us? And that's the part right there. If you're in a situation like Reaper, you would think that how much do they know? Because if I tell them this, they're going to say, well, that doesn't match with what we got. So it's like basically we know everything. We just want to see if you're going to tell us everything. And that's when it's all in their court. They are pretty much in the advantage. All you got to do is be honest. That's it. And you might get less time in prison. Because he like, Chad, he's definitely going to prison. He's definitely going to prison, like, indubitably. Like, bro, the fact that you're still, like, holding back is, like, already proof enough.
He got up to that night.
What about his cell phone? Do you own that phone?
Yeah, I own that phone. So
Okay.
do you all want permission to check the location?
That
on
would be
phone?
great, yeah. No. That would be
No. Yeah, what do you mean no?
Check my phone.
They're not looking in your phone for anything else.
So you're certain that your phone GPS will keep you at your house that night?
Are you? Are you?
Wow. Silence?
So we gon' no.
I can just tell you, I really don't know nothing about no murder.
Wow.
That is the truth. I don't know nothing about no murder, and I was not
silent.
Not there with no murder.
That's not what they asked, though. That's not what they asked. What they asked was, when they pull this GPS, will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked. You don't know?
I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, I'm telling you stuff.
They want you to
telling me I'm lying, and I'm telling them the truth. And you sitting there going with them. Why are you believing them? They are not your son. Stop believing them.
Yo, he's under pressure.
You were there.
Hey, bro, he's cracked, y'all.
First and foremost, you lie so much, I don't know what to believe what comes out your mouth. You done burnt the bridge that's been gone. Let's get that understood. But what I'm saying is, you so quick to want to protect people, and let me finish.
Protecting.
You so quick to want to protect people, don't want to snitch, want to be cool this and cool that, and not be known as a is in the paperwork and all of this, that you're willing to sit here and go down for murder that I know you didn't do. I know for a fact that you didn't do it. But you're going to be guilty by association because you don't want to tell who the did it. That's the problem.
I did not kill nobody. I did not kill nobody.
Did somebody you know do it?
Like, what the No, I don't know nothing about no murder. I don't know nothing about no murder.
And if you lying, you standing on this island by yourself. Because if you got something to tell these people, because they have a way to tell if you're lying.
The best way to tell if Rob was lying was Chris, who was still in the room next door. He was sharing a bit more than Rob, and some key...
For, like, bro, you, like, snitching, like, that's still a thing? That's kind of like... It's kind of sad, though. Like, imagine that, oh my God, if I snitch, people gonna think I'm a people gonna, like, you know, come beat me up because I'm snitching, even though my life is clearly on the line. But oh, if I snitch, oh man, I'm gonna get my butt whooped by my so-called friends because I'm in a situation that didn't even involve me. Are you kidding me? You're letting the word snitch pretty much be the wall to where I'm afraid to tell the truth because I know the moment that I'm out of here and the next day I see my friends, oh, they're gonna jump me. They're gonna jump me. They're probably gonna bury my body in the woods or something because I snitched. I pretty much told them what happened, and now, oh no, I'm gone because I snitched. So you want to keep this. You don't want to tell because you're afraid that you will snitch. That's what's holding him back right now. He's afraid to snitch. He's afraid to basically tell the truth. Like, bro, I do not care. If you're in a situation like this, what's more important to you? That's the question. What's more important?
Differences in their statements stood out already.
What do you think he's going to tell us, Robert?
He's not going to, with me, I swear to God, he's not going to, I didn't do anything. I promise you I didn't do anything.
He keeps saying I didn't do anything.
I don't understand why you keep lying. And then you go back.
It's going to be a snitch. And
it doesn't matter.
Who cares?
It don't matter. If it's a snitch and I will die. This is not no joke. You would die.
That is a sad tradition. It really is, Chad.
Why do people get popped and killed for snitching?
We're talking about life sentences here.
Right.
Life sentence.
Really
maybe death penalty.
Your actions and the people
but life sentence, that's pretty much still dying. You know?
Is slowly killing me. I should just pause. Let me talk. I'm supposed to be at work right now. I just took a promotion. I can't keep missing work over that you are doing or the people you hang with or just any of that. Like, I don't know if you know or not, but they threatening me with contempt of court because I don't come to none of your court stuff for the other shit you got going on. I make sure you get there, but I cannot keep missing work. And you sitting here in my face telling me that you don't want to snitch because your life, they gonna kill you. Pause. You don't know.
It wasn't me.
I didn't say
that. Nobody. They trying to get me a life sentence.
I didn't say that you killed anyone. Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association.
Yeah.
Well, part of that is not clicking for you. If you know who killed these kids, then you need to tell him.
Some part of this tirade must have made an impression, because at long last, Rob shared his version of events.
I mean, really?
Taj killed all three of them.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Now, see, was that so
hard?
Were
you there?
The whole story?
Were you there?
The whole story.
Let him talk.
I say the whole story.
Tell me the whole story.
Rob just mentioned 3 victims, but the detectives had so far only asked him about 2. Not only did this grab their attention, but they likely suspected that the Taj that Rob mentioned was 16-year-old Taj Bruton, with whom they were already acquainted due to previous cases. Unfortunately, this didn't mean they knew where to find him. Several weeks earlier, Taj cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. The detectives would focus on this after they got more of the story from Chris, who picked up the story after he said Rob, aka Reaper, knocked on his window.
Okay, Reaper knocks on the window.
He knocks on the window. He said, "Come on, we finna go see some girls or something." Then we went out, and this girl and the boy picked us up. I don't know what. This girl and this boy.
Describe.
From Rob's statement, the police believed this had to be Michael and Layla. He made no mention of Camille, however, even when he explained where everyone was sitting in Layla's car. The seating arrangement would be crucial later. Layla was driving, Michael was in the passenger seat, while Chris and Rob were in the back seat. But they weren't alone.
Then somebody came in the car, I don't know what his name. It was like somebody in all black.
Okay. And how does this person look? I know you said he's wearing dark colored clothes, right? I heard you say that.
Ski mask on too. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, if somebody got in the car wearing a ski mask, I'd be like, what is going on?
But that didn't appear to be
Right?
Chris's
That would be the normal
response,
thing.
and the detectives likely had a horrible inkling as to why.
Yeah, I looked at Rob. I was like, I thought we were gonna see some girls. He's like, we had. I was like, oh, all right. And then we kept driving again.
Throughout his interrogation, Chris would only refer to the man in the ski mask as the X-Man.
The X-Man?
Luckily, Rob had already revealed the identity of their companion.
We'd pick up Taj. As soon as Taj came out, that was the first thing he told me. Like, we knocking on. We knocking on. I was like, nah, but I ain't even trying to do all that.
It took a little more persuading, but Rob eventually told the police that they could find Taj at his girlfriend's house. They picked him up and brought him to the station after they finished talking to Chris and Rob. But instead of clearing up the questions detectives had, Taj made everything more confusing. He said everything was Rob's idea.
I'm sitting right next to him. And he whispered in my ear, he was like, bro, I'm finna rob these tonight, bro. I look at him like, what you mean you finna rob these tonight? He's like, bro, so saying, like, look, bro, they got a pound of weed, they got me some money, bro. And if they don't go for it, I'm gonna kill them. That's exactly how he said. At this point, I'm frantic, but I can't, like, if I tell Sosa, right, Rob's sitting right next to me, so therefore he's gonna shoot me. So I'm sitting here, I'm scared as hell, so I'm like, I ain't got no choice but to just sit here and just, it is what it is.
Rob told detectives that it was the other way around.
It was so random. Like, he just said he wanted to knock him off. I'm not thinking he's serious, though. Like, at the time, when he first said it, if you would have seen his face, like, right, he was laughing, like, if I would have really thought he was finna kill like, I wouldn't have got back in that car. I would have stayed right there and called my mom and be like, can you come get me? I didn't think he was serious until when the car started slowing down and I seen him up the gun.
Rob said that Taj did this because he wanted to take Michael's firearm. Over in Chris's interrogation room, his story aligned with Rob's. For now.
What triggered him was just start shooting. I'm trying to figure out.
Like, okay, so Taj saying it was Rob's idea. And Rob is saying that Taj killed 3 of them. The cops said we want to get 2, but there was 3 people that was involved in this. Like, why? Like, see, it's like this. What does your gut tell you? What does your instincts tell you right there to where the fact that he said that. Now I'll be like this. Now look, I'll be like this. In this situation, if you saw he has a gun, right? If he was right beside him and he was trying to warn his friend, I would at least try to disarm him. You know what I mean? Now, here's one scenario. If it was just one person with a gun, and they're like right beside you, and you know this person has a gun, you would try to disarm that person. But if this person has friends, if there's like multiple people, right, like 3 or 4, then I'll be like this. There's nothing I could do. All right, like it's like this. Either I cooperate or I get shot. Cooperate or I get shot. So for Rob, it's like this. For you got a 12-year-old, got a 16-year-old, 17-year-old. So you got 3 kids, and we're trying to figure out who is the doggone killer in this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm thinking it's probably Taj. I'm thinking probably him, because he looked like he did. And over weed? Over weed? Over weed? Like, of all things to kill someone over, you kill someone over for a piece of grass? You kill over something that's not even worth killing someone over. At all. That's... Hey, look. You got... Choose better friends, y'all. All right.
It's something in between that you're not saying. Because I think the person that the white guy, I think they said he had a lot of money or something. Oh, so it was set up as a robbery. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So they were setting up the robbery then.
Did Reaper mention that to you? That something was going to be set up or anything?
He didn't even know. Like, all I heard was pound, and like, I thought somebody was shooting at us, so I hopped out the car and ran.
I'm looking. Boom! Boom!
Once again, Taj's version was a little different.
So boom. Layla got shot by Rob because that was diagonal. It was crazy.
Just like that. It took 2 shots.
Wow.
It wasn't no more than that. It took 2 shots to kill both of them.
The police knew at least part of this was true. Who shot who was yet to be determined. But tragically, they'd confirmed the second victim as Layla's boyfriend, Michael Hodo. He was in the grass by the side of the road, just blocks away from Layla. He was deceased when police found him. Michael's father had a heartbreaking reaction when he found out that his son would not be coming home.
My son's dead, isn't he? I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. No! Oh my God!
Yeah.
No! Can they come back out here and help? We have to talk. We have to find this out. Who's to find this? This is to go find out who did this to Sam. I'll find him when I kill him and kill him. Oh my God, baby.
While Michael's family reeled from the devastating news, Chris continued with his upsetting story about Michael's final moments.
And you said he shot this white guy first?
Yeah, the white guy was like sitting like this. And
where'd he shoot him at?
Like right here.
And the gun was pressed up against his head? Is that what you're...
I think it was like...
Okay. And then, what about the white girl that's driving? Tell me about that.
He turned the gun and shot her.
Where'd he shoot her at? And
I don't know.
Rob agreed, which would soon become increasingly rare.
Where did he shoot Layla?
Oh, I think it was headshots.
On the other hand, Taj put the blame back on his 2 companions.
I know he shot Sosa in the back of the head. I seen that happen. I seen Rob try to shoot her, right? And when he tried to shoot her, he shot her, and then his gun didn't go off, so he reloaded it again and shot her.
All contradictions temporarily aside, Chris added another disturbing detail.
Now, look, I'll be like this. An order way to settle this is by doing, a lie detector test, Just straight up, who did it? That's it. That's all I want to get. Like, that'd be the last question of this. Who did it? All these questions right now is all adding up, but one last question. Out of you 3, did you fire the shot? Who fired the shot? Because now hearing Taj's side, hearing how calm he's talking about it, and hearing how Rob is talking about it, now hearing how Chris talking about it. See, Chris is like on Chris' side is like a little bit here and there. Rob, he finally cracked. Since the snitching tradition is like pretty much gone out the window because, like, bro, it's either life in prison. Either way, life in prison with no chance of getting out, obviously, or you're pretty much the killer, and snitching equals death, I guess. But still, if you come out and say who the killer is, which he said Taj killed all 3 of them, you might get, like I said, maybe 30, 40 years in prison instead of life sentence. So if you come clean, you won't have life sentence. You know what I mean? And once you get out of prison, just get better friends or again, just move. Just move and start a fresh life. Because again, you are a child. You're a child. Your life hasn't even begun yet. And you already pulling this? Come on, man. You gotta think better than that. You gotta think right, because that was clearly the dumb thing to do.
Did he see it coming?
No, it was like to the back of his head.
Okay. Did he have any time to defend himself?
No, but Taj just upped him and shot him in the head.
At this point, police were still searching Forest Lakes Park for evidence. Now that they knew the shooting had occurred in Layla's car, it was more important than ever to find the vehicle. Most of all, though, they were looking for any sign of Camille. They hoped to find her alive, but the police were likely aware that, like Layla, she could be seriously injured and in need of medical attention. If that was the case, every passing moment decreased her chance of survival. For the time being, though, her family was left in an exhausting state of limbo. The situation was made infinitely worse by rumors that Camille had been caught up in the shooting. Frustratingly, the police still had no concrete answers for her family. They had to hope that Chris, Rob, and Taj would ultimately provide an explanation. They got even closer when Chris continued with more of the story, but once again, the details started to get shaky.
Was the car driving whenever they got shot?
No, it was just like, it stopped, and then like it kept going. Like when I hopped out the car, it kept going with it.
Where did the car keep going when it kept going?
Like to a dumpster.
Did you get back in the car?
Yeah, I got back.
I mean, did you want to get back in the car, or did you not? No, you didn't want to. Okay, what made you get back in that car? Explain to me that.
Because he had a gun, I thought he was going to get to shoot at me. Because if I was just with him and if I was just with him, he just killed somebody, and he probably would kill me too because he think I was a snitch.
On the contrary, Rob said that he was the one who jumped out of the car.
When he shot Layla, I got out the car because the blood started dripping. I ain't wanted to get on me.
Taj claimed the same thing.
I get out of the car, they still shooting because it was like 4 to 6 shots. I don't know exactly how many shots it was, but it was a couple shots, bro. So at this point, we hear this lady. This lady's over there like, I'm running, I'm trying to hide in the forest. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm trying to call Spring, everything. So this lady, hey, what's going on over there? He sees me, or I guess he ran back over there, I'll run over him. He was like, hey, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, I'm gonna just do what you tell me to do. I just want to go home. So
the only thing that this established was that at least one of the boys had gotten out of the car. But this wasn't news, as the woman who saw the car hit the dumpster also told police that she saw a male figure running around shortly after she heard gunshots and saw the crash. The detectives decided not to challenge the boys on this front for now, and pushed for the truth on more important matters instead.
Now, hearing all three of them talk about they got out the car, the killer had a gun, had to go back in the car, and seeing the car go to the dumpster, had to get back in the car because, I was going to get shot and everything. So again, like I said, if it's one person, right, like we're all going to hang out, right, go to a party, chill and everything, if on your mind you're thinking that, this person has a gun, so shouldn't we, stop this individual? I don't care if you're my friend. If I see you have a gun and you're about to do this, we're not friends no more because that is not how I roll. So if it's just one person with a gun and it's like multiple people that thinks this is not right, we should jump this guy, right? We should jump this individual and stop this individual from doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, now you're in a hostage situation and you have no choice but to do it. Otherwise, again, pow, right in the noggin. So, Layla, boom. So, Michael, bang. Just, bruh.
They started with Rob.
What happened to Layla? Where did they...
I don't know. Taj threw Layla out the car and hopped in the driver's seat and started driving.
Rob said Taj repeated the process a short time later.
Okay. Taj pulled body out the car, patted him down the cannon. He grabbed the cannon, got back in the driver's seat, and he drove off.
Was that next to Layla where she was pulled out?
No, it was in a different spot.
This made sense to police because the second crime scene, where Michael's body was found, didn't have much blood. There were, however, what appeared to be drag marks leading from the road towards the brush where the body lay.
Did you help take... I ain't touch nobody. I ain't touch a body. I ain't touch nothing. I swear to God, I ain't touch nothing. Once they was dead, I said, take me home, man. Take me home.
Yet Taj said that wasn't how it happened.
Rob drives. He pulled Layla out of the car. That's why she got left by the dumpster. He starts driving. He's driving. We go around the corner. He goes over to the Sosa. Sosa had, I think, in his somewhere on him. So he pulled Sosa out of the car. He just dragged him over in some woods or something.
And were you driving the car?
No, I was not driving the car. Yeah.
The detectives asked Chris similar questions.
Did you
now see how calm Taj is talking about it?
During all this?
Like Taj, he's like,
what's he saying?
Like he was like calm with it.
He was like, he was like, go.
And what happened next?
Yeah. Then he drove all the way out there in Ottawa. And he tried to put a thing in the river, but I think got stuck or something.
What thing are you talking about? The car. Okay.
Once again, the detectives already had information that would let them know if one of the boys was lying. The search of Forest Lakes Park had finally paid off, leading police to another grisly and tragic discovery.
Oh dear.
Taj picked up the story again to tell his version of what they did with Layla's car.
We get over here to this lake. It's dark as hell. 3-5 get out of the car. He get out of the car. Rob tells him, hey, start wiping everything down. So he started wiping everything down. He's wiping everything down. The door handles everything. He's wiping everything down. So after he started wiping everything down,
he's talking a little fast.
I think Rob takes Layla's phone or Aunt Sosa's phone or whoever phones he found in that bit, throw him in the lake, wash, throw him in the lake.
The lake in question turned out to be 5.5 miles or 8.8 kilometers outside Forest Lakes Park, but police had no question that this was the scene they were looking for.
In the lake.
When they dredged the lake, they recovered the 2 phones from the water, which were determined to be Michael and Layla's. But this wasn't the only evidence they found. Taj attempted to explain what was found as he continued his story, starring Rob as the mastermind of the crime.
Rob,
tell 3-5
as
in the car,
mastermind.
drive the car into the lake for whatever reason.
When the detectives asked Chris, though, he said he was nowhere near the car at that point.
Were you in the car when it was going in the river? Or?
Yeah, I was out. I was trying to run back to my house.
You were out of the car. What was Rob doing?
I don't know. I left. I was running back to my house.
What did he say he did with the car after that then? I didn't ask all of that. I didn't ask that.
What about the guns that were used?
I don't know where those at either.
Oh, it's barely in the lake. Okay. Like when he drive, it might be the 2 front tires in the lake. It might be a little bit more of the hood, but the back of the car, all that is still out of the lake.
That was exactly how the police discovered the car. What they found inside was more gruesome than they had ever anticipated.
Oh, man.
Back with Chris,
Like it gets
he
worse.
continued his tale.
Describe to me the clothes that you were wearing that night when all these bad things happened. What happened to them?
They wanted us to burn them.
Who wanted you to burn them? Did you have blood or something on them?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Like Detective Bender said, we processed that car front to back, top to bottom, bottom to top 3 times. 3 days worth of actual forensic work, several forensic people. I don't think you could have sat anywhere in that car and not got blood on you.
I think it was something on my shoe.
I'm standing over here scared as like I think it's blood all over me, but it's dark, so I don't know. But I think it's blood all over me.
Rob said burning the clothes was all Taj. Taj, of course, said it was Rob.
Oh my God.
Regardless of who had the idea, the police found the remains of clothing in a burn pile in the forest, including pieces of shoes, sweatpants, and sweatshirts. However, this was not the only clothing item the police discovered intact. Chris's shoes, which he described as Nike slides, were found discarded in the bushes, and a single glove was found near Michael's body. Another was found near the lake. The police asked Taj about this.
So were you wearing gloves at this time?
Yes, I was wearing gloves, because like I said, I was supposed to go hit.
And what about Rob?
Rob was wearing gloves too. Yeah, Rob was wearing gloves.
Taj revealed that the original plan was for the group to go car hopping that night, which was why he was wearing gloves and a ski mask. But police had to wonder if there was a far darker reason the boys brought these items.
Now, okay. Now, chat. Seeing as how Taj is like just he's explaining his part of the story so smoothly, like a normal conversation, doesn't it? Now, on one hand, you can tell when someone did it when they look guilty, and you can also tell when someone did it if they're saying it like nonchalant, like a nonchalant conversation. I'm telling you, I think it's Taj, but it's like the 3 are explaining it in different ways. I'm gonna see, is it gonna get to where are they gonna involve like a lie detector test though? I just want to see, because like, man, got out the car, blood all over the car. Like, bro, you got one that's 12, one that's 16, and one that's 17. So it has to be. It's like, I'll be surprised if it was Rob. I'll be surprised, but Taj, he's taking this a little too calm. Like I have nothing to hide. I have nothing, no secrets or anything. So yeah, I'll gladly tell you what went down. So it's like it's if it was Chris, I would be so surprised about this. Like, kid, you're 12 years old, and yeah.
For now, the detectives wrapped up the conversation
If it
with
really
Rob.
was Chris,
Do you feel a
that
little
would be
better now that
surprising.
you were honest? Did you need to get that off your chest?
Worse. Now I feel like I just snitched on everybody and
The detective stepped out, but little did Rob
Even though
know
the
that his
title
night at
says
the police
12-year-old
station was
confession,
far from
still.
over. There was a lot more that he needed to fess up to, but for now, he was left alone with his mother.
To charge you because you were there and you didn't come forward.
did come forward.
I'm talking about when it happened.
I just told him everything.
I'm just letting you know, Rob. You don't
I'm
understand.
gonna get charged for murder. Mama, what was the point of me snitching on everybody if I was gonna get charged? Why did you make me snitch?
I said I don't know.
Alright. What's the point of snitching?
We're gonna ask you to step out now.
I'm telling you, man, lie detector test.
Wait, hey, is my mama still here?
Yeah, she's still
Wait, mama.
Talk to me. Give me.
Okay,
she's talking with someone.
can you see if they do charge me? Can you see if she can give me a lawyer? I didn't kill anybody.
Hey, relax.
Can you ask her, please?
Rob waited, asking the detective stationed at the door several times to bring his mother back, but she had left to go back to work. Before she did, she informed police that she did not want Rob answering any more questions without a lawyer present. Rob was not on board with this plan.
Is my mama still okay?
Yeah, she gone back to work.
Charged for murder.
Listen.
Can you explain it to me?
Hold on. We got it. We're taking your DNA, okay?
While the police took Rob's DNA, fingerprints, and photos, he continued to ask them how it was possible that he would be charged with murder.
Listen, can I tell you the situation, please?
I heard it. Listen, let them do the thing. Your mama's not here yet. We can't talk to you.
She's close?
I don't know how far she got, but she is on her way.
Rob's interrogation might have been on pause, but the conversation with Chris remained in full swing. The questions he faced were about to get a whole lot harder.
They executed a search warrant on the house, which they did collect some things, and I'd like to talk to you about those things too. But because you, because it looked like a surprise on that.
Yeah, like what was in my house that got to do with this homicide? And
I will, and I'm going to tell you about that because, like I said, I'm not going to leave anything out.
It's I can tell you, it's pretty damning. I guess I would use that word.
So, are you serious?
Do you own any firearms, ma'am? Does anyone in your home own a firearm? Okay, because I'm pretty sure they found one or two firearms in the house. And I'm sure you guys have watched CSI, right? We can take a firearm, we can shoot it. That round that you shoot, we can take, and we can put it into a computer
and tell you who got
can actually compare it to other fired casings, like the shell from the bullet. How?
You told me who the guns from. Why would you hold guns from when you know something that dumb just happened? That was stupid.
When Reaper gave you these, you think that they're going to be related to this?
I think so.
Describe to me why you think that.
Because he said, put these up, make sure your mama don't find them.
Okay. And the gun that you saw X-Man use, was it either one of those two guns?
I think it was black.
Meanwhile, Rob continued to wait.
Didn't kill.
No. Yeah, I don't believe this. Bro, you're hiding guns. And mother's like, oh, I don't have any guns. I don't own any guns. There's no guns in my house. But the fact that we found 1, 2, the shocked look on her face, looking at her boy, like, you hid guns in my house, and plus I'm just in the dark about this too. Hey, come on now, bro. It's amazing that you just knowing that a serial killer is younger than you, like in the form of a child. Like, what caused you to be like this? Like, bro, whose fault is this? Is this a parent's fault for not keeping a closer eye on your kids? Yeah, your kids going out hanging out with friends, but it's like, bro, like anything can happen outside. Anything can happen inside. Mother is at work. The son is at school, get out of school, hanging with friends and all that, coming home late at night and whatnot. And just, bruh. So, I can't say it was Taj. Now, of course, look, chat, I see the name of the video is, the 12-year-old confessing and everything, but you never know. Like, just can't. You can't have your kid being a murderer.
Eventually, the detectives did come back to speak with him, since he was insistent on saying more. Even though his mother did not return to the station.
You have more to talk about.
I explained to you what your mom said on the phone, right? She didn't want us to ask you any more questions while you're present. You reapproached me a couple times and you said that you wanted to discuss some stuff further, right? I just want to make sure that we're clear that you don't have to answer a question. You don't have to talk to us at this point. But you've stated to me that it's my case. I want to talk to you. Yes.
Because Rob's mom was no longer present, they read him his Miranda rights again. Right off the bat, he admitted to additional involvement.
Ty told me to help him pull the body out of the trunk and throw it in the lake. He grabs it. He's trying to pull a leg. He was like, "Bro, it's heavy. I need help." So I grabbed one leg. I tried to help. I was like, "Bro, it's too heavy. I don't want to do this." Put the thing down. Left the girl in the trunk because I told him I didn't want to help him. Like,
Rob went on to tell a long, rambling tale about.
So you're basically just adding more fuel to the fire. That's basically what you're saying. You're basically just adding more life to your sentence, basically. Like life sentence and then some now. Cause where was this at when your mother was here? Like what, you didn't want to tell that part of the story when your mother was there because you did not want to make her even more distraught and now disappointed in you? Like, bro, you're adding more fuel to the fire by adding body in the trunk, left it in the trunk. But again, he is in a situation to where, the killer got a gun pointing at me, so if I don't do it, bang, bang.
Selling his gun the day before the crimes took place. The detectives hear him out before dropping a bombshell.
So that's an issue because we have that gun now.
No, that's not.
It was at 3-5's house. You said you sold it.
I did. That's not my gun. That one's not mine. That's not my gun.
In addition to this, the police strongly suspected Rob had stolen the firearm.
You might tell the truth that you didn't pull a trigger, but you knew this was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen.
You knew.
I did not know this.
The detectives had a similar exchange with Taj.
We've sent some of the casings off to be examined already. It's not back, I'll tell you that. Otherwise, we would probably be having this conversation. That those casings aren't going to come back, like he said, to a third gun.
To a third gun, they shouldn't.
Multiple casings were found at all 3 crime scenes, but especially near the car at the lake. Even if the boys weren't budging on the issue of who shot who, lab tests would reveal the truth in due time.
Oh boy.
In the meantime, the detectives brought up something 2 of the boys in particular were probably dreading.
Let's talk about the trunk.
Here we go, the trunk.
Trunk of that car.
I'm looking at the trunk, sir.
There's another part that we haven't talked about.
Trunk?
Mm-hmm.
It was a girl in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me to open the trunk. And he shot her.
Where did he tell you to open the trunk from?
You see this right now?
He told me to open the trunk from the inside, like the inside.
Okay.
And whenever you pulled that open, tell me about what you saw in there.
All I seen was luggage, and then he said move, and then he shot.
Okay. You said all you saw was luggage?
Luggage and it was like a girl.
And what part of her body could you see? Could you see her feet, or hair, her hand? Describing
I seen hair.
I did not even know it was another person in the trunk at all.
Okay. So you just riding around and she just in there?
Yeah. I mean, we rode around like that before, though.
Just because there ain't no room for all the people?
Just because there ain't no room for all the people.
When you go to open up that seat, what were you thinking in your head?
Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. Like, I was confused. I was like, yo, like, I was thinking like there's a person back here.
Did this person say something? Describe to me what you heard whenever you opened that seat up. What noises?
All I heard was somebody tell me to watch out, and I heard a gunshot. 2 gunshots.
Tragically, the third victim was determined to be none other than Camille. Her body was discovered 2 days after Layla was found on April 1st. Like Chris said, she'd been shot twice. The location of her wounds indicated that her death had been no accident. It was highly unlikely that Camille had been shot once in the back and once in the head by chance. As soon as she was identified, law enforcement made contact with her aunt, Amy, for a difficult conversation.
So you probably know why we're here. We've been investigating the incident that happened Friday involving Layla and the other individual that was found deceased.
You know, it took us a little while because we couldn't positively identify her, so it took us a little while. But, you know, we're certain that it's Camille that is now deceased.
Probably to detectives' surprise, Amy remained stoic. As it turned out, she already knew Camille was deceased.
The grandpa of Layla actually came to my house when I found your card, telling me that Camille was deceased and how are you doing is what he told me. They were talking about
Camille
it at the hospital that Camille was deceased already. I had a mother call me at midnight last night that, my phone has not stopped.
While Amy tried to come to terms with the loss of her niece, the detectives at the police station asked Chris more about the specifics of Camille's murder.
What happened after he shot her?
He closed it, and we left.
How many times did he shoot her?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna.
I think once or twice.
What is it? One
twice.
Twice? Okay. Do you know what part of her body he shot her?
No, when I opened it, he heard everything, so I looked away.
As if this wasn't horrific enough, Taj put forth an even more disturbing version of events. Predictably, he insisted he was not the shooter.
Yeah,
the culprit he named
of course.
was spine-chilling.
Who folds the seat down?
3-5, because he was on the side, so he hops out of the car, right? He can get out of the car, flip the seat down, boom, hit her once. So he shot her once.
Where did he shoot her?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't see exactly where he shot her at all. And then she's not dead yet, so Rob sees that and he shoots her to make sure she's dead. So Layla got one headshot and then Camille got 2 because she wasn't dead yet.
For once, Rob agreed with Taj, at least partially. Before his mom left the police station, he told this to the police.
It was 3-5 that did that. 3-5 dropped the seat and shot the girl, and he shot her in the head. And Taj was like, shoot the in the back, shoot the in the back. 3-5 dropped the back seat and he shot the girl. She was still alive. He's like, finish her. So he shot it again.
3-5, police knew, was Chris's street name.
3-5?
Still, something
Bro,
wasn't
you're 12
quite
years
right.
old. Why you got a code
After getting
name
this far,
in
the
the
police were
streets?
not
Like,
willing
bro,
to accept
come on
anything
now.
short of the full truth.
Now, Reaper, Rob, there's a lot of similarities that are overlapping here, but there's definitely a discrepancy that Rob told us about what happened to the person in the trunk.
They're trying to make him the shooter, right? Yeah, that's what y'all leaving out. I mean, be honest. Be honest. We being all being honest here. Just be honest. Is he the shooter? That's what they're saying. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do is just say that. I mean, stop going around it.
I can tell you that he is not. You, Chris, are not being blamed for those people in the front seat.
In the back seat is what the trunk is the one that
we have some issues with the trunk.
I'm gonna keep it real about.
Tell us. Be honest, baby. It's okay.
Because you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better once you talk about what
he's. Tell me. Say it. Just say it.
He said, if I ain't do it, you gonna kill everybody I know.
So tell us what you did.
He said you gonna kill everybody I know.
Yeah. Who made you do it? Who is it?
Rob.
Rob made you do it?
Yeah.
He said he gonna kill everybody you know. Well, who was the X-Man? I don't know who that is.
Now, did you...
Just calm down.
Yet again, Rob said something different. Before his mom left the station, he had shared this information.
Todd made him kill the person, or he was gonna kill 3-5.
Is that what he said? He told him?
He told 3-5, if you don't kill this girl, I'm gonna shoot you in your head.
Let's go on here. He said that he was going to kill, he would kill everybody you know, and you did fire a gun. Tell me about what you did.
I think I shot the girl. I don't know where it was, but and then he came up and shot her too.
Okay.
Who did?
Rob.
Okay. So when you shot her, what gun did you use when you shot her?
The ex dude gave me the sky.
If Chris used Taj's firearm, that would explain why they only found 2 weapons during the search warrant. This brought up another question, though, which the detectives had addressed with Rob and his mom.
So that's my concern here, is that you said that Taj was pretty much orchestrated this and was concerned that 3-5 would snitch on him. So he made him
3-5 do that.
But you saying that he was completely fine with you not taking any part of that?
Yes, with me, he just told me, if you snitch, I'm gonna kill you.
With his mom there, Rob insisted that he was innocent. Now that she was gone, though, the police hoped he might be more forthcoming.
Right, saying it without mother being around.
I know Taj, I've dealt with him, and I've dealt with you. And there's a reason I wanted to talk to you. Because I don't think you're that dude. I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. Taj, I don't know anything about 3-5. I've never met him. But I'm telling you that when the evidence says that you were there and that you shot someone, there is no explaining that.
Evidence is gonna tell you that I'm there, but all I can tell you is that I didn't shoot nobody.
Did you shoot Layla? No. Because I got information that somebody that was in their car had a thing for Layla, and he couldn't do it. So somebody else did it.
No.
Okay?
No, that's not true.
Your brother's talking. Is there any reason why he would be telling people that you shot one of those people if you didn't do it?
Police likely used this as a tactic to get Rob to talk and hopefully reveal the truth. Perhaps this was how Amy knew Camille was deceased before the detectives contacted her. In Chris's interrogation room, his mother struggled to come to terms with what he'd done.
I mean, somebody that's dead, boy. What the? This is a homicide. This is 3 people dead. This is some that's serious. You gonna kill my family? What am I supposed to do?
That's why.
I understand. That's what we were trying to tell you from the beginning.
Chris, take a deep breath.
Just calm
take
down.
a deep breath.
Now look, in that situation, like right there, it's like if someone has a gun pointing at you, okay, and tell you to do this, and you don't do it, then it's either A, boom, you, and or B, I'll kill everyone you know. Like really. Like, I kill you and kill everyone you know. Like, it's like probably not even that order. It's like, what can you do if someone has a gun pointing at you? Now, again, if it's like close to where it's in arm's reach, then maybe you can disarm that person. But if it's to where it's not in arm's reach, like 15 feet away, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? If someone is pointing a gun at you 10 to 15 feet away, what are you gonna do? Telling you to do this, do that. If you don't do it, you know what I'm saying? Like what are you gonna do? What can you do? So it's either if it's close range to where I can reach the gun, or it's long range to where I have to do it. Otherwise, bro, I won't be here right now. So, 12-year-old son's confession, huh?
Now listen to me. When you say that someone threatens your family and threatens you, I need to put it in the report. Take a deep breath.
Please tell me, what am I supposed to do?
Chris's mom didn't have an answer to that. She asked one of the detectives if she could step out for a moment to compose herself.
Oh, he know where I live, and he knows my whole family. He was gonna kill my whole family.
Are you talking about Reaper? Or are you talking about Stavo?
Reaper. He was gonna kill my...
Let's talk about X-Men real quick. I think you know who X is, and I think you're scared of him. Rightfully so.
They both said it was gonna kill my family.
Okay.
They both said that? Did they ever point a gun at you or anything like that?
Yeah.
Who pointed a gun at you?
Yeah, X-Man.
X-Man.
He was like, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. I'm gonna kill you, then I'm gonna kill your mom.
Rob also told the detectives that he and Chris were in serious danger at the time of the crime.
Let me tell you something about Taj. Taj tell you he finna do something, and you decide not to do it with him, then I probably would have died with them.
So were you afraid of Taj that night? Because
bro, if I did not do what Taj wanted me to do, I would have died that night with them.
Taj is that bad a dude?
Bro,
Taj, on the other hand, claimed Rob always planned to let him take the blame.
If anything, if one of us go down to anything, and Todd, it was you. You did it. Everything. You did it. Legit. You shot everybody in the car. It was not me. If he got caught up, then then he was gonna go find my mama. The whole night I did not have a gun.
Rob continued with his story, claiming that he only participated out of fear.
Did Taj tell you to put the gun to somebody?
But Taj told me he told me he gonna kill.
All right, Luke, you have a good day. On a Friday, too? Man, school day sucks on Friday.
I told him I didn't want to do it. Told me if I didn't do it, he was gonna kill me.
You hold the gun to Layla's head?
Yeah, but I tried to shoot it, but it clicked. I tried to shoot, but it clicked. Like, I didn't have it cocked back. I tried to shoot it, and it clicked twice, so then Stavo just did it itself. That's why. My gun wasn't coming back. Listen. I'm telling y'all the truth, and y'all still think I'm lying. Like, what I'm supposed to do, bro?
Okay. So how long before he actually pointed the gun, he told you to shoot Layla?
We was already in the car. Like, he put it in his notes, showed me, and then deleted the note.
When was that in the night? How early? How much before?
No, that was like right before it happened.
Did you shoot that girl in the trunk?
In the trunk?
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't there.
T5 shot that girl in the trunk.
Still, the police suspected something was being left out.
Yeah, we're missing that key piece.
Moving after he shot her?
He said she was still breathing or something.
Who said that, X-Man or Rob?
Did you shoot the girl once or did you shoot her twice? I mean, it doesn't matter at this point.
I shot her once, and he shot her again.
Chris was talking about Rob. Thankfully, the police were finally getting somewhere with him, too.
You shot her once.
How many times you shoot her?
Once.
You shot her once? Where'd you shoot her?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. There ain't no question. There ain't no question where she was shot. You talking about one end to the other. Where'd you shoot her?
Just shot, bro. I seen her and I shot. Like,
why?
Because she was still alive. She was gonna snitch on us all. We was all gonna go to jail for life. I didn't want to do none of it. If I didn't kill that girl, Stavo was going to kill me. I swear to God.
See, when people saying I swear to God, it's like you're basically lying.
Finally, the truth came out. Ballistics reports comparing shell cases found at the scene to the firearms found in Chris's house indicated a match. Whether or not there was a third shooter remained to be seen.
Are you sorry for what happened?
I did not want it to happen. I never wanted that to happen. Like, I never wanted to kill anybody. I never wanted to shoot anybody. I never want any of that to happen. I just wanted to get a little bit of money.
The detectives made one last effort with Taj.
People already ended up dead because of you guys.
All because of grass.
Not my craziness. It's
That's
not my craziness.
That's sad.
Were you going to rob them, and it was like either you had to do what you had to do, or a finger slipped and it scared everybody in the car, and then it's too late at that point.
Yeah, I feel you, but
that makes more sense than the story that they're telling, that you planned to kill these people. That from the beginning of the night.
I didn't shoot no gun.
We talked to Rob and we talked to Chris for hours. For whatever reason, one of them was more afraid of bringing you into the middle of this than they were Rob. So for that story that Rob's this guy that's, threatening everybody, or his people threatening people, or your people, I just don't see that.
But Taj remained stalwart, insisting that he had never used a firearm that night. The detectives hoped that unpacking one final secret could be the key to determining the truth about his involvement. They turned back to Rob to accomplish this.
Oh boy.
Like Chris and his mom, Rob was also given a jacket to keep warm in the cold police station. But he used it in a less typical way. Even as he tried to get comfortable in the interrogation room, one of the detectives returned to unpack a final secret to try to pull the case together.
The KTM, what exactly, what is it that you guys do? What is it? Like a gang?
No. It's the first time we did something for it.
How many guys, how many people, like, consider themselves a part of KTM?
A few of us, me, Gustavo, 3-5.
Rob's list went on, but he only had nicknames for most of the KTM members, not their real names. Notably, Michael, Layla, and Camille were not included.
I was the leader of it.
Chris was somehow even less willing to give up the details of KTM.
What's the deal with the KTM thing?
Like KTM?
Huh?
You don't want to talk about that.
Reaper has the tattoo. What does it mean? Cutthroat? Cutthroat mentality, does that sound right? What exactly is that? Like just a made-up gang name, or?
One of Michael's close friends eventually came forward, provided the police would keep his identity anonymous, and confirmed that KTM was indeed a gang. His description of their activities was chilling.
Their mentality is a mentality that they'll do anything to you and not give a fuck.
Just to get the money?
Yes, just to get the money. Just to get what they want, basically.
With that, the detectives had all the information they needed to move forward with the case. It had taken 8 hours each to get the truth from Rob and Chris. The detectives stepped out, leaving Ashley and Chris alone for a few moments.
Listen, baby, listen. It's not over.
Yes, it is.
It's not over. It's not over. You just better pray and hope that the gun that you shot her with wasn't murder weapon.
Ashley also had some devastating news to deliver that was sure to upset him further.
I'm gonna go to jail. So when I leave him, top. That's because I got a warrant. So I'm gonna go. My grandma gonna be trying to figure out something. I'm gonna try to get out of this. When I get out of here, I'm trying to get you home.
Ashley had a warrant out for her arrest, and in order to be with her son while he was interrogated, turned herself in to police. She was charged with possession of cocaine and methamphetamine and taken to county jail. Chris, Rob, and Taj were all taken to juvenile detention, and on May 15, 2023, a grand jury indicted all three boys. Preparations began to take the case to trial, where they will be tried as adults. Taj and Rob are both facing 3 counts of murder in the first degree because, tragically, Layla did not survive her injuries. She passed away just days after Camille's body was discovered. Taj also has been charged with robbery with a firearm, tampering with evidence, tampering with an electronic monitoring device, carjacking while armed, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and grand theft auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Rob had a similarly long list of charges in addition to 3 counts of murder, including armed burglary, grand theft of a firearm, petty theft, robbery with a firearm, and tampering with evidence. Chris, meanwhile, was only charged with 1 count of murder for Camille, whom he admitted to shooting while she was in the trunk. The other charges against him were dropped, including grand theft of a firearm and burglary. However, he's now facing an additional charge of battery after getting into a fight while incarcerated. Currently, all 3 boys have entered pleas of not guilty, but the trial is ongoing. What the court finds and how justice will be served for Layla, Michael, and Camille remains to be seen.
Wow. Bro. Chat. Yo, I'm gonna give my intake on this, and I'm gonna watch like one more video before calling it for the day. Well, for now, but seeing that it was all 3, and seeing that they all 3 gave their parts of the story, I believe that, because, okay, you said 12-year-old's confession and everything. I mean, I can see that Chris is not going to have that many years in prison. Chris's mom is going to prison because she got cocaine and pretty much meth. So, yeah, then wasn't expecting that part right there. But on Chris' side, you're 12. Why are you thinking about stuff like this? I swear, it's almost like anything you do is like all part of that game, Grand Theft Auto. And since we all know Grand Theft Auto is coming out the next year, it's gonna be like, oh my god, it's like what's the old saying? Don't try this at home. And here you are trying this at home, thinking it's okay, like it's hunky dory, it's fine. So Camille died. All three of them died. All over a bag of grass. All over, this whole case was just all over a bag of grass, and you owe me some money. Bro, there's a thing called a job. There's a thing called a career. Do something what you love doing, and then money will be flowing to you. But no, let me go do this illegal work, and then sooner or later I'll start getting money that way. Bro, that's not how that works. Like, I mean, you think it's fine and dandy, but in this situation, you're panicking, you're trembling, you're sweating, you're mumbling under your voice, under your throat and everything. Like, bro. And seeing that Rob, like, he was afraid to snitch because he was going to get killed. Like, bro, you're going to get life in prison if you don't talk. You know that, right? So it's like either way, right? Well, not either way, because if you don't tell, right, who did it, you're pretty much saying that, yes, I killed the person. I'm part of this. So I'm not going to tell you who did it. So you're basically helping the killer, basically. But if you want to not have life sentence, then tell me who did it. Now, and the thing about it is, too, I kept wondering, where's the, part where, hey, listen, we're going to attach you three to a lie detector, and we're going to find out this way to where who did it. Did you kill Layla? Did you kill Layla? Did you kill Layla? Did you kill Camille? Did any of y'all kill Camille? Did any of y'all kill Michael? Who killed Michael? And we're going to find out right then and there. We're going to find out right then and there that that would have been it right there. That one question with a lie detector attached to you. Did you kill Layla? Did you kill Michael? Did you kill Camille? And we'll find out right there. You can say, no, I didn't do it all you want, but the lie detector never lies. Like, bruh, 8 hours. It took them a full-time job to realize, okay, so you had a gun. I mean, you brought the gun, first of all. Second of all, Rob, you shot the girl, okay? And third of all, Chris, yeah, you also did that as well. And now on Chris's part, there was one thing he said that was like so true. What do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do if someone has a gun pointing at you? What do you expect me to do? What do you expect me to do about that? Again, if the gun was like an arm's length, okay, I could try to disarm the gun. But if this person is 10 plus feet away from me and pointing a gun, then what do you want me to do about that? He knows my family. He knows where I live. Okay, he can go and literally kill my whole family, okay, and all because I didn't do what he said. So it's like if he did not do it, going to kill him and his family. But if he did do it, then okay, you shush about it, you snitch, you know what happens. So like, what do you expect? What do you expect? So yeah, All right, so going to just like check out one more video and gonna call it a day. Something more, something a little bit more, I'm gonna say this one. Go jump into this one.
Is she okay?
Do you see where she's hit at?
No, it's on the side of her head. They're saying she's pregnant too.
Take a deep breath. Stuff like this is just...
This woman was just informed that her daughter, Tiara Harris, was shot in a gang-related incident and is in critical condition.
They just were shooting, and the blood just started dripping from her head. Like, she in the ambulance. Like, I can't even talk right now, bro.
Her boyfriend rushed her to the hospital, but sadly, it was already too late.
Dang.
And the worst part, Tiara had nothing to do with the shootout. She was an innocent bystander. A simple mix-up left an innocent, pregnant mother of 2 dead, her children now motherless, and her family absolutely heartbroken. The police now face a grueling investigation. However, with everyone involved supposedly being gang members, catching the killers would prove to be much harder than anything they'd done before.
Bro, first of all, man, it's like, what is the purpose? What's the purpose of forming a gang, really? Like chat, what's the purpose of that? Like, what do you get out of forming a gang, really? Because I don't see a meaning. It's just basically saying, I'm afraid to be by myself, so let me be in a wolf pack so I'll be protected by bullies and such. Like, bro, just whatever.
We've been in touch with Yolanda, the mother featured in this video, and are proud to share that half of the video's profits will be donated to the Akron-based charity First Glance Student Center. At 7:29 p.m. on April 14th, Akron Police Department would receive multiple calls reporting dozens of gunshots being fired out of 1492 Rockaway Street. Witnesses would describe what seemed like a gang-related shooting with multiple cars speeding away from the scene, one being a silver 4-door Chevy. Police managed to quickly track down the Chevy, following it as the driver sped across back roads in Akron. However, the Chevy wasn't actually running from the cops. It instead would pull over somewhere that concerned the cops even more: the hospital.
There's someone in the car still.
Yep. Hey, hold on. 5807. 5807.
I mean, it looks like a peaceful neighborhood.
Shut the car off. Shut the car off. Here, go ahead and put your hands on top of your head, all right? Nope. Hands on top of your head. Step out. Step up.
Well, do we have someone checking High Street?
All right, man. Here, step back here to the back of the car. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
With the incident being reported as a gang-related shootout, police would assume the man driving the Chevy to be a gang member, meaning he would be very unlikely to talk to them. So instead, they decide to stop him in the back of a patrol car for later interrogation. As this was going on, dozens of additional 911 calls would ring in, witnesses would arrive at the Akron Police Department to give their testimonies, and more cars would arrive at the hospital. Most importantly, though, 4 miles away, a young woman would be placed in an ambulance under critical condition, with a bullet wound to her head. Turns out all of this would be connected to a large group of reckless shooters. It's at this point that we need to step in. This is one of the most complex and mysterious cases we've ever covered, so we need to break down some details first in order for you to fully understand the case itself and how well the police handled every single step of solving it. At 7:22 p.m., a car arrived at 1492 Rockaway Street carrying a number of people who started hanging out with some friends on the side of the road. This group included Javier Small, Lanier Worthy, and Jonte Smith. Everything seemed fine until 7:29 p.m., a black vehicle reversed into the street carrying Tiara Harris and her boyfriend George. Her boyfriend recognized some of the people on the sidewalk and wanted to back up and say hi to them. At that very moment, on the other end of the street, 3 men emerged from an unrelated vehicle and started firing bullets.
An ambush.
These men were Zaire Saunders, 17-year-old Antonio Whitaker, and Jaron Rackley, all affiliated with the gang BBM. a notoriously violent gang active in Akron at the time. There was also the driver of the car, Jeremiah Williams. Their shots scattered the group on the sidewalk, with everyone running for cover. In the panic, Jonte and Javier drew their guns and began to shoot back. Bullets went back and forth, and everyone went into a panic as they realized their lives were at risk and a bullet could strike them at any moment. Seconds later, the dust settled, and the BBM members Zaire, Antonil, and Darion fled the scene. However, a grueling silence would ring throughout the street as Tiara's boyfriend, George, realized Tiara was the sole victim of the shooting. With BBM splitting up and running in different directions, George flooring it to the hospital, and everyone on the sidewalk either heading inside or preparing to head to the hospital too, cops would begin the grueling task of figuring out what just happened and who ultimately was the one that fired the killing shot. Now that you understand exactly what happened, we can join the police as they try to figure out what just went down and how to solve the developing mystery. Remember that all the cops have received at this point is a phone call alerting them to the shooting and a description of the silver Chevy they've just pulled a gang member from.
There's another victim that's at we don't know where that victim's going to go. There's a possibility that victim may be deceased.
Yeah, they got shot. Okay. Someone's got to go check, probably.
Two of the officers ran over to the front of the hospital and discovered Javier Small and his girlfriend in complete distress.
He can't go with you in that room because she's got to go to get checked out. Hang tight.
As it turns out, another girl was also hit in the shooting, that being this man's girlfriend. Luckily, she was only shot in the leg, but he was still extremely distraught and horrified about the whole incident.
Bro, I'm on house arrest. I gotta go. I gotta go to the hospital. I gotta go to the house with my girl, bro. We'll get you. I gotta go to the hospital. I'm gonna come back. I'll tell you how she's gonna be fine. I just got in the car. I don't know, bro. I just want girl to get shot, bro. No.
Despite how distraught this guy is, he was a passenger in the Chevy, which they just found multiple firearms inside of. So police promptly arrested him.
Hey, Pappy, we'll take him over here.
Across town, however, there's someone in a much worse position. Tiara Harris, the passenger in the black car.
Open that up. Just a bad. Just for what? I can't wait to.
How pregnant is
she? I can't wait to find out
how far along.
The reason. Can't find out why how dumb the reason
2
is.
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
44, is there anything flying around? Am I allowed to ride in the car with her though to the hospital?
Not right now. I'm sorry, man.
Bro, Yanni just got shot. I mean, T just got shot. Bro, just in the car, just driving down the street, and Kim were driving from over there, and they just was shooting. None of the glass broke, but she wasn't like moving or talking. So I just brought her, and the blood just started dripping from her head, like. Bro, we see in the hospital, she's in the ambulance, like I can't even talk right now, bro.
Tiara was immediately rushed to the local hospital, and her boyfriend George was brought in for questioning. He wasn't a lead suspect, but police did find it odd that he just happened to arrive at the site of a violent shooting right as it all went down. He would claim to be innocent and actually provide a detailed description of everything that went down that night.
You turn off here, so
I wouldn't say disturbing, more like shocking.
What y'all got going on over here? Like I'm like basically.
I mean, the last video probably was just shocking.
Got to just shooting a gun that just kept shooting. That's all I know.
I mean, just kids doing
so you're right
the
there.
most dumbest
How many shots did you hear?
And for what?
It was a lot. And then as soon as I
so you were facing this way?
No.
You literally backed all the way on.
Say I'm coming down here in this Rockaway. This would be Rockaway.
Okay.
Now I backed up.
Oh, so the back of your car was facing that way?
And I'm like, what y'all got going on? Like, I look out just like that.
Like out the window?
Like, as soon as I even, like, it should have been me. Like, you feel me? Because I'm the one that looked straight out the window. Like, are y'all all right? Y'all good type stuff.
The cops asked him why he was even there in the first place, to which he just said he knew a couple of people on the street and that he had absolutely no involvement in the shooting. He's claiming that when he peeked out the window, his friends mistook him for the shooter and began to fire bullet after bullet directly at his vehicle. According to him, it wasn't an accident, but a misunderstanding, making the whole situation even more tragic.
Like
With
that was
George's
a signal right
statement,
there.
they were a little clearer on the whole situation. But they'd made no progress into actually solving the case or tracking down the real perpetrators. That was until they returned to the scene and spoke to a number of witnesses who had watched the entire event take place.
It was 2 African Americans. Where were they running? Young kids. They come from back there across this backyard next door and out the driveway.
They hopped the fence. Or?
He had face mask
I mean, they
on,
scatter like
and
roaches.
9mm. And then the other one had a semi-automatic rifle, and they were almost to the corner of the house running this way, and they both
had a whole rifle.
Like when the kid
came prepared.
When Maroon Hoodie jumped the fence, he dropped the semi-automatic rifle at the driveway.
I was just out back cutting some stuff, and all I heard was just a barrage of bullets, fully auto. It wasn't 3-round burst, 4-round. It was fully auto.
Coming off fast.
Oh yeah, hot and loud and fast. And then I saw 2 guys when I was out back. I could see through the backyards, through the fence. I saw a silhouette of 2 guys running up towards that street, returning single shots as they were running away. Okay. There's casings up here. Oh, you found something? Yeah.
I got more.
Okay.
How many did you hear? You think?
It was like 30.
Like where all these cones are at, probably that amount?
30 or 40.
Bro, just imagine you minding your own business.
Where's over there?
And you hear a gunfight outside.
Gunfire, but when I went out, when I first heard it, I thought it was a backfire because I saw this car sitting over here where all the cones are. And he had his lights on. So I thought he was working on a car and it backfired real bad. Then I saw them loading people into cars to take them to the hospital, and I knew it wasn't, because this has happened so many times before. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Right.
We can't go outside. Nothing.
I mean,
Even
for
with
real.
all this new information, though, the cops are only slightly closer to figuring out what happened. They were now at least able to confirm that one group of shooters rolled
had a
up
dog
and
on a
started the
rifle.
exchange before another responded, causing a huge exchange of bullets throughout the neighborhood. But they still had 2 major questions.
Like, bro, first thing on your mind is, imagine you're minding your own business. You're outside sitting on your porch, just chilling, relaxing. Front porch, the backyard. You're just relaxing, minding your own business on your own property, right? But out of nowhere, you hear a barrage of gunfire, like you're playing, like you hear Call of Duty in the background, just a gunfight. And you're wondering what is going on. I'll just get down and do some army crawl to safety. Like, for what? I can't wait to find out for what reason led you to do this. What gang was on the turf or something? What, some guy was banging the leader's girlfriend or something? Like what? Like, just like the dumbest things, man. And look, someone got shot. Someone that wasn't even involved, innocent bystander got shot. And look how bruh. Come on, man.
Who were the shooters, and how was Tiara involved? Well, the cops had just spotted another witness that might be able to answer their questions. A woman who was actually on the street the moment the bullets started flying.
So you don't live here?
I'm not even from here.
Oh.
I was just
So who owns the house?
Anitra Johnson.
She is? Okay.
She was out to eat when I called her.
Okay. Everyone's okay though, right? The kids?
The kids, yes.
Yeah,
the kids are okay. I got them in the back watching TV.
Okay.
There was another girl outside. I think she got shot in the thigh or the leg. I think they took her probably to the hospital.
Okay.
She definitely got hit.
Okay. So what did you see?
I'm sitting outside. To be honest, we all family. So we're all outside prayer wrestling, like act like we hitting each other and stuff. Next thing I know, I just heard these gunshots. I'm like, all right, was that a BB gun? Come through shooting.
Yeah.
And it was like, pow, pow, pow. They came through again. So I'm running up, I didn't even know where the gunshots came from. I'm running up, trying to grab the kids. They came through twice.
Okay. Did the house get hit at all?
I mean, I don't even fuck. Is that a bullet hole right here? I don't know. I was really just trying to grab the kids.
And you said it, so what? They got out of a car?
They didn't even get out of the car.
Or they just started, they were hanging out.
They were hanging out shooting.
Okay. Did you see how many by chance? Three of them?
Now it's starting to sound a lot more like a drive-by shooting. Notoriously one of the hardest types of crimes to solve, especially if the vehicle was stolen. The cops are starting to lose confidence that they'll ever find Tiara's killer, but then they decide to ask one simple question.
Ma'am, do those cameras work? Oh, she is? Okay, perfect.
There were CCTV cameras on the property, and as soon as the homeowner got back, they'd have access to the footage. So in just a few hours, the cops were able to put together just enough footage to understand exactly what happened. Remember, we already know all of this, but for the police, this was huge. Now they had a detailed timeline of the entire incident, including at what time it went down, how many people were involved, and which vehicles the suspects used. This would be very useful in the coming interrogations in terms of verifying their suspects' claims and pressuring them to confess. Police finally had a solid piece of evidence, and right as their case had started to build some substance, their biggest lead yet would step out right in front of them.
I have video of them carrying the girl that got shot. I can put it on an SD card. And that's not the same one that was at
She'll send her a link and then she can just upload it from there.
Right after they took off.
Not only had they seen the entire thing go down, but as soon as they heard gunshots, they started recording. They managed to get this clear footage of a man getting into the same vehicle spotted at the shooting just minutes earlier.
Yeah, I totally agree, man.
Now all they needed to do was track down the car using the visible license plate, and they'd have their first lead suspect. But with that said, these kids were no strangers to running from the police, and the officers would begin the hunt to find these evil teens.
No strangers, we do this. We've done this before.
While all of this was going on, police had another, perhaps more nerve-wracking situation to handle. Tiara had passed away, and her family had no idea.
Wow.
There's currently not like too many people in the hospital. Let's step over here and see where all these cruises are.
My car, okay?
Where's your car at?
I'm right here because I didn't know.
Or this one?
Right here.
Sorry, which one? Okay. What's your daughter's name? You're here for your daughter?
Tiara Harris.
Tiara Harris.
Man.
Let's say have you stand right here next to the sign. We'll have someone go over and talk to you, okay? Take a deep breath.
Is she okay?
I don't know the names of who they are currently, miss.
Just listen to the cop's tone here. He knows just how bad things are looking for Tiara, and he absolutely doesn't want to break that news to her mother yet, especially when he sees just how emotional she's starting to get. Tiara's autopsy showed a single bullet struck her in the head and remains there. While tragic, this information would allow police to identify the exact bullet type and then gun used to shoot Tiara. If they could find the owner of this gun, they would be able to match it to the bullet, and justice could be served for Tiara and her family.
It's like right in the eye.
They got a bunch of people showing
up.
That's
my son and my nephew.
Okay, well, listen, they can't go in. It's going to be you.
Y'all go in the car. Go in the car. They telling us to wait outside. No, I'm going in. Go in my car.
The entire family is in distress.
They
with
have
her
no
mom
idea.
shaking and doing everything she can to stay strong in front of her kids. It's truly a nightmare situation, and it only got worse from there.
Just no
At about
idea
8:30
you hearing
p.m.,
that.
they were informed that Tiara didn't make it. A bullet to the back of the head had ended her life, sending her family into complete grief and agony.
Yeah.
Now police knew that they absolutely had to catch the people that did this to Tiara, or risk letting down her and her entire family. At this point, police had 6 different suspects on the run, all tied to the shooting, and they would eventually manage to track down and get interrogations with all of them.
So we gotta break it down to see who did
Their
it.
start came in the form of a Facebook post by someone named Jeremiah Williams, described as a member of the BBM gang. Apparently, the post consisted of him bragging about being at the shooting and escaping without getting caught. By using his Facebook profile, they'd find his address and pick him up for interrogation. With Jeremiah also being a supposed gang member, he too would prove to be extremely difficult to break. However, by using expert methods, police would actually get him to break completely, to the point where he actually started to cry.
Like, bro, no sympathy is coming, alright?
Yeah.
You can't say it was an accident.
Sorry for the wait, man.
Like, you know, a parent break it down, like, you know that's like legit. You can't fake that. You can't fake that,
The reason
man.
why we have you sitting here talking to us is we need you to think back to April. This incident that happened on Rockaway. You remember this? This young lady got shot. You remember hearing about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so during our investigation, your name's been coming up. But do you know about where you were that day, if you can? Or
I was definitely at home.
Apparently, Jeremiah also has an alibi, and even gives multiple names over that'll attest he wasn't on Rockaway that night.
You're at home. Where was that at Amherst?
Amherst. This was right before my mom moved to Louisiana. My best friend, Rob, talked to her sister, the girl that died, her sister, Dayani or Diane or however you say her name. My best friend, Rob, was like in the kind of little...
Like dating?
Yeah, with her sister. And it was crazy. We got on Facebook and it was all over Facebook. Her sister had got killed and stuff. And my mom was like, ain't that the girl that came over here the other day? And we like, no, that was her little sister.
Has her little sister reached out to you guys or anything?
We haven't talked to her, and I don't talk to her at all for real, but.
So you were at your house on Amherst?
Yeah.
Was there anyone with you that day?
My mom.
What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is April.
However, the detectives know this to be untrue. They know he was at the scene from the Facebook post he made. They know he did it, so they want to get a confession, or even better, some information that might help put more people in handcuffs. The thing is, they're initially going to find that a lot harder than they'd hope.
Right, because he's tough. He's a tough one to crack.
Dude, this was the car that was in that video. That's on Facebook.
So you remember it? Yeah. Have you ever been in this car?
No.
Do you know who drives this car or owns this car?
I don't know him by like name, but I know who he is. His name like Pa or something.
Pa?
That's what they call it.
Do you know? Can you describe him?
Of course, nicknames. Pa.
That's
really?
Because I don't even really know what he looks like. Like
I mean,
every time I've seen him with a ski mask on.
Okay.
Like I've never seen him outside of his.
If you see someone with a ski mask on, you just automatically assume.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, somebody about to get robbed. Like if you're not up there in the mountains skiing.
I got probation.
So like just a weapons
why
possession
you got a ski mask on?
It's like carrying a concealed firearm in a motor vehicle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Jeremiah is making a conscious attempt to give as little information over as possible while still trying to seem cooperative. He's smart. He doesn't want to completely close himself off, as that'll make him seem guilty, but he also doesn't want to give up any vital information. The cops ask him who was there, where he was sitting in the car, even questions about the guns, but he refuses to speak, and he's starting to seriously frustrate the cops. But all this talk of courts and investigations doesn't seem to be getting them anywhere at all. So instead, they switch gears. They're going to be as direct as possible and give it to him straight.
Come on now.
That's their last hope at getting him to crack.
What do your friends call you? You have a nickname?
Like you was there, but I wasn't there. I was at home with my mom.
You can see that you're not a bad person. Just the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
talking to us for a reason. And it comes back down to this incident. You being honest with us is what we'll be able to work with you. We know that you were there. And we also got your DNA in this car.
If I've been in that car, I would tell you guys I've been in that car. I don't have no reason to lie or no reason to put myself in any trouble.
Your role in it is the driver, because we know you're the driver. Really what we're looking for is why. You're already being charged with the incident. You explaining your actions and what really went down is just going to help with your role in this. We know you didn't pull the trigger,
bro,
but you
the moment you in here, we already know. We know everything.
So
we just want to hear it from you.
And the judge and jury are going to look at someone who's not remorseful.
Drove over there and they started shooting.
Like, bro, like seriously, like, we know you did it. We know you're part of this. I mean, for God's sakes, we got witnesses taking footage, for God's sakes, and they seen you. And the moment we get people on camera, we can zoom in, we can enhance it, and look at that. You're part of the doggone video. And you're saying, oh, I wasn't there. If I was there, I would have told you I was there. But I wasn't there because I was at home with my parents and everything. Like, bro, like, if there's proof and it shows you're there and you're lying, you know that makes it worse for yourself. Like, why are you in a gang? Why are you part of BBM? Like, bro, I heard of the BBB, I heard of the ATM, but BBM? Like, just making up names to where we're in a crypt gang and you go on all turns, you go get jumped. Like, why? Why is that a thing?
You drive over to Rockland?
Yeah.
Who was sitting where in the car?
In the front, and Zebo sitting behind me, and then Pa sitting down the door.
It worked. The cops actually got a name. It was a nickname, but cops could eventually tie this back to a man named Zaire Saunders, who would be interrogated later. This was huge. They'd actually gotten a gangster to tell on one of his partners. But they weren't done yet. They knew he still had more information, and they weren't going to stop putting on the pressure now.
We got to go back to who was in the car with you. I know you know Zebo. Pa, you say you just know him by Pa. Do you know his real name? Okay. And the third person, you're saying how often have you seen him? Would you be able to identify that last person by a picture?
Jeremiah physically looks defeated. He's avoiding eye contact and is hunched over. He likely never saw himself giving up the names of his partners, but that's exactly where he found himself.
Yep.
The cops, however, are over the moon, even managing to get descriptions of the people he doesn't know the names of. They ask a few more questions before leaving him alone for a minute to prepare their next move. However, on their return, they didn't expect to see Jeremiah, a once tough and unbreakable gang member, to cry because of what he'd done.
Like, bro, you know what you did.
Would you say his,
You think you're gonna get away with
his
that?
name was what? Darian.
There's a limit, you know.
Is this him? Do you want some tissue, man? I need a verbal yes or no if that's him. Alright.
Yeah.
So let me get
I mean, it's all fun and games until this happens. Like, what y'all were doing was
If this
fun.
is the first time you've seen a gang member cry, you're certainly not alone. But it actually happened again in the detective's very next interrogation. While these cops were busy talking to Jeremiah, a breakthrough had been made outside of the interrogation room. Remember this footage recorded by a civilian witness earlier? Well, after 5 days of investigation, they actually managed to track the car down, enabling them to take in another suspect, Antonil Whitaker. Police would quickly realize that Antonil might be even more important than Jeremiah as a suspect. He's a supposed member of the BBM gang, and believed to be one of the suspects that initiated the shootout. The thing is, he's just 17 years old. Since there's still some information even Jeremiah couldn't give them, they figured they might be able to scare him into giving up everything he knows. And their first idea is an unconventional but possibly extremely effective method: a call home to mom.
Like, you're just a kid.
This is really, really serious now. You need to put yourself wherever you was and get to telling what your part as much as you can, because you can't take the blame for this, and this was not you. You shouldn't be sitting here. They know it's your car. You can't get out of that. You better than this.
Antonil doesn't even seem to feel like following his mother's advice. Despite the fact that they know it was his car, he's claiming that someone else was actually driving it that day. And even more unfortunately, he'd forgotten exactly who. Listen to his story and see if you believe it as much as the detectives do.
So you saying you were at home?
No, wait, like the whole day?
Someone took your car somehow, brought your car back, gave you the keys back or whatever, and then so you could take your sister home. That doesn't make sense, man. You know a jury, you know a judge. They're not. I'll be honest with you. I mean, what you're giving is not even a good state. It's not even a good lie. That's why it'd probably be easier for you to tell the truth.
You see, about an hour after the shooting, Antonil was confirmed to have used his car to pick his sister up from an event, meaning it was clear that he was still in possession of it. But that didn't faze Antonil, and despite how many questions police asked him, he refused to give up anything.
How this works, you might already know this from TV, but I mean it's kind of accurate. We're going to compare your DNA to the DNA on the shell casings that we collected on scene. Is there any reason your DNA is going to be?
You want to be loyal
you've got to explain
at this time. Okay.
You said no, or I don't know. Who got in the car with you at all these? If you're saying your DNA is not going to be on those shell casings, right? And you're saying you weren't driving, who did you let drive your car? Believe it. But now it looks like it's on you.
Right, it's your car.
They're
right?
trying to force a confession out of him by telling him that if he'd been in physical contact with any of the evidence tied to the murder, they would find out and he would get sentenced. And they're not lying either. When you touch anything at all, you leave behind skin cells, sweat, small hairs, or even oils that can quickly be traced back to you.
That's right.
Meaning, if Antonil had touched the car, the bullets when loading his gun, or anything else related to the murder, police would find out. However, as of now, detectives haven't had the time to run these tests to confirm if his DNA was present, meaning they couldn't pressure him to a confession, and they'd have to wait until later. So in the meantime, they move their attention to the next suspect. Remember the man Jeremiah gave up to the cops back in his interrogation? That was Zaire Saunders. Once they had his name, they tracked him down and arrested him. And he would prove to be even more helpful than Antonil and Jeremiah combined.
Did you know
so he squealed.
Young lady who got killed?
Yeah.
Did you know her?
No.
We don't think that she was the one meant to be hurt. And I mean, based on what we're seeing. But unfortunately, she did get obviously hurt. Her family's hurt.
Right.
You know, when we did that search warrant, we got your phone.
Yes.
Okay. And we downloaded your phone. And your location is putting you on Rockaway that day. No shit. What happened that day, man?
I shot a pistol.
You shot a pistol?
Yes.
This seems like a breakthrough. He's just admitted to being a part of the shooting, and it seems that all the detectives' work has just paid off. But they're not quite there yet. Of the 3 shooters, 2 did indeed use pistols, but one of them was actually yielding the extremely dangerous automatic rifle that can be seen clear as day in this footage here. Instead of jumping this fence after the shooting, the man with the rifle fled directly down Rockaway Street, and that's the direction Zaire's phone shows him running. The good news is, that clears Zaire of being the man that killed Tiara. After all, she was killed with a very specific pistol round.
But
that does put him directly in the spotlight of being the man with the most dangerous weapon, and one that is directly lying to the cops right now. And they're not about to let him get away with that.
We have video of the incident. You're on camera shooting a rifle.
Is it a pistol that holds, 2 rifle rounds?
It ain't just... It is big.
Does it have a stock on it? Like something kind of modified type thing?
No, it didn't have a stock on it. So describe it then. It is a rifle.
That single piece of information resulted in Zaire actually getting the highest sentence out of anybody involved in the case. Just the use of such a dangerous firearm actually increased his prison time by somewhere between 10 and 15 years. But he still doesn't know that yet. He's still under the guise that if he helps the detectives out, he might get a better deal. So not only did he tell them where to find the rifle he used, he also gave up one of the most vital pieces of information that cops had received in the entire case.
I think it's a guy in a ski mask. I think he's the one that did it.
BDM, for real. BDM, yeah.
Zaire just told the cops the name of the gang that was involved. A huge piece of information that will help them track down every last individual that was part of this attack. Now the detectives have just one more final question that'll hopefully put together the final pieces of the puzzle they're looking for.
You've been extremely helpful throughout this whole interview, and you helping yourself out too. You gotta ask, whose idea was it?
I know for sure it wasn't mine. They just around, so we'll just say, yo, it's my dudes. But you got different dudes, and you got different, like, that's how they is.
Well, they ain't say it right then and there. They said it on Facebook, like. But they was like, I knew they was talking on me. They just didn't say it directly to me, but I knew they was talking on me.
He just gave up the group chat where all of these shootings supposedly were planned. This, police simply had to cross-reference the names in the group chat with the supposed shooters on the CCTV, and the names that had been mentioned in previous interrogations, giving them enough evidence to sentence all 6 of the shooters. But unfortunately, this wasn't the resolution they'd hoped for. After examining all the weapons confiscated, it would turn out that none of them were a match to the bullet found in Tiara's head, meaning they still couldn't tie any specific person to the actual murder. However, there is one puzzle piece we haven't told you about yet, the one that would solve this entire case. Watching the CCTV footage, it's clear that there is one man that directly shot at Tiara's vehicle. If you follow this man, dressed in all black, back through the CCTV, you can trace him all the way back to the driver's seat of this black truck. A black truck that, until now, the cops were completely unable to identify. But then, they received one final piece of footage from a witness, allowing them to track it back to the owner, 44-year-old mother, Kia Brown. Police realized they had to interview her, knowing that whoever was driving Kia's black truck that day killed Tiara Harris.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
Oh, man.
I'm Detective Smith. This is Detective Davis.
You got some that will squeal and some that won't. But it's a slow progress.
Drives this truck. Reference that incident that happened up the street. They were being shot at. And we're finally trying to catch up with them. Looked like a couple males. And have you heard about this?
I heard about what happened on the corner. This is my truck, but my son was driving.
It wasn't Kia, but her son driving the car that night. And after running his name, they'd find out he had ties to a rival gang of BBM. So the detectives had Kia call her son and hand over the phone to the officers.
I have some detectives here right now. The day that we were moving in, the incident that happened around the corner, they would like to speak with you. Do you have a moment? Can you go on break?
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good. I'm Detective Smith. I'm with Detective Davis with me. Hey, what's your name before we get started, bud?
Lanier Worthy.
Lanier. All right, Lanier. How you doing, man? So listen, man, I won't keep too much of your time. We were wondering if we could talk with you and your mom maybe in person at some point, and we wanted to talk to you about that incident that happened up the street. We know you're over there, so we were hoping you could help us, actually. You're not in any trouble. We're actually hoping you could help us. Would there be a good day for you to...
This weekend, fine?
Yeah, Sunday the 8th. Can we do it anytime after 2:30? Okay.
Anytime after 2:30?
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll see you at 3:30.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Bye.
And just like that, they had an interview scheduled. And this was the final suspect at the scene that they hadn't yet spoken to. The man suspected to be the driver of the black truck and the man they think shot Tiara.
Dad, how you doing? What's up, man? Appreciate you talking with us. So, I mean, obviously you know why we're here at that incident that happened up the street. So, we just wanted to know your perspective. That happened that day. What did you see? That type of stuff. But you can run us through that day?
I was standing in the driveway on my phone.
then heard shots. Like, I done ducked. Then when the shots stopped, I heard that, ran to the car.
When the shots started happening, you ran and got in the driver's seat, and then Teen got in your passenger seat. Right? Okay.
That was it. Lanier had just told them he was driving the black truck that day, confirming he was the man in all black that drove the truck and hopped in the Chevy. He was the man that fired the bullets. So they decided to ask him up front.
I'm about to ask you something, man.
All right, here we go.
Ask you from your parents. I'm sorry, but I gotta ask. Did you shoot that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Even though he said no, police already had all the evidence they needed. The car tied to him, his ties to the rival gang, and finally the video of him shooting at Tiara's car. So they arrested him on the spot and brought him in for interrogation.
What's up, man? Here you come.
Am I able to have a lawyer with me right now?
What's that?
Can I have a lawyer with me?
You can do whatever you want.
I don't know why they be asking for a lawyer.
Okay.
After, bro, why are you asking for a lawyer?
Okay.
After
But in the
what
end,
we just saw,
this wouldn't matter, as when they arrested and processed him, they managed to confiscate his gun. And after analyzing the forensics of the bullet inside of Tiara and Lanier's gun, it was a match. Lanier had fired the killing shot. After 5 months of investigation, all the puzzle pieces were finally in place. In total, 7 people were charged in this incident. Zaire Saunders was charged with involuntary manslaughter and 4 counts of felonious assault and was sentenced to 35 to 40 years. Antonio Whitaker and Jeremiah Williams got 20 to 24 years on similar charges, while the 4th assailant in this group, Darion Rackley, got 34 to 40 years. It was confirmed Antonio's DNA was in fact found on various bullet casings on Rockaway Street, despite his claims in the interrogation room. The next 2 to be sentenced were the ones who shot back at Zaire's group after being rolled up on. They were Javier Small and Jonte Smith, who were sentenced to 4 years and 2.5 years respectively. Lastly was Lanier Worthy, Tiara's actual killer. However, as of this video's upload, he's still awaiting sentencing. Tiara and George were not involved in any of the gangs in the shootout and were found completely innocent. At long last, Tiara and her family could finally be at peace. Half of our profits in this video will be donated to the Akron-based charity First Glance Student to help prevent incidents like this from happening again.
wow, man. Chat, I'll be like this. Don't be in gangs, chat. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Don't be in a gang, because stuff like this, like, what's the purpose of being in a gang? Okay, what's the purpose of that? And you know the thing about it is, like, the moment you get arrested, it's like, bro, we seen the footage. We know who did it. We just want to hear from you. That's it. Like, we saw you was there. We saw you with the gun. Okay? We saw you taking shots. We saw it all. So, what are you doing trying to say, I didn't do it. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. I was at home. I was hanging out with my friends. I was on vacation. Like, bruh, we saw the footage. What are you talking about? Like, I don't... It baffles me that you sitting here telling me, oh, I didn't do it, but we saw you on the footage. We got like multiple people recording and saw it all happen. And remember, if we go and enhance it, right? There you are right there. So what, you got a twin brother? You got a double ganger doing this for you? Is that it? Like, bro, like, just, you see, it's like this. If you lie, like, more than one time, or just at all, you do realize that you're going to get the full sentence of this. But if you come clean and tell me who did it, or if it was you and you said, I did it, I admit it was me, and you tell your reason and everything, you know what? Since for being honest from the get-go, you was going to get like 40, 50 years in prison, but you know what? Even though you are kind of in trouble, but due to your honesty, we're going to reduce it for 20 years. You're going to get 20 years instead of 40 years. I mean, you got 30 plus years, but you, good sir, you're less. So you're going to get out early. You're going to get out much earlier than that. I mean, wow. Can you imagine how sad it is knowing that? Can you imagine? Just you're a kid. You're not even 20 yet. 18. Yes, you're considered an adult, but you're not an adult. You're still a kid, and you're out on the streets. Why? You should be you should be thinking about games. You should be thinking about, what game I'm gonna play. Oh man, I gotta study for this test. Oh man, I gotta think about getting a car, what job I want. Like, bro, just do what you want to do. Do something that you enjoy doing. Now, if you're like a serial killer and you enjoy being a serial killer, then hey, I can tell you right now that you just belong behind bars for the next 70 to 80 years. That's all I can tell you. But if you enjoy, like, if it's that hard to get a job out there, if it's that hard to get a job, corporate job, then work for yourself. Be your own boss. Be self-employed, and sooner or later, you're going to be living on Easy Street without doing anything illegal. Like, I know it's going to be slow process, but it's going to be worth it in the end, though. But no, let me join a gang called the BBM. And there was another video that was like the KTM, and I'm like, bro, like, just you're like 12 years old. You're like from 10 to like 17, and you're in a gang. Are you kidding me? You're in a gang, and you're not even out of school yet. Like, you look like you go to middle school and you're in a gang. I don't understand it. Like, chat, I'm telling you right now, it's like, can we blame the parents on this? I don't know, cause it's like these kids are doing it behind the parents' back. It's like, oh, go out there, make friends, whatnot. Yeah, sure, whatever. But imagine you just in your house and you hear gunfire. The only time you probably hear gunfire is if it's like a New Year, maybe 4th of July. Like, those are the only times I know you can be gunfire. That they're celebrating 4th of July. Yes, we hear gunfire happening outside. New Year, yes, we hear gunfire because a whole new year is right there. So yeah, let's celebrate, right? But no, let's go out and just go on like this was in broad daylight, chat. That what got me. This was in broad freaking daylight, and let's just go and start shooting. Right, we're waiting right here at the checkpoint to where, oh, there's the car. Get ready, guys. Like, one of them had a rifle. Where did you get I mean, of course, the gun store, but, bro, you treating this like for real GTA. You got a rifle? And, like, y'all scattered like roaches? That was... Remember, chat, they are kids. Kids like them don't know any better. It's like, basically, we don't think, we just act. Bro, like, I don't understand. Like, chat, videos like these, I do enjoy watching, because it's like, it just breaks down. It breaks down to how stupid these kids can be with these types of videos. But chat, I'm gonna say this. I'll probably like catch y'all later on today, because I'm gonna like try to like play a game and all. You know what I'm saying? If not, then hey, just know I was here today and did a reaction video. But if I don't play a game today, I will play one tomorrow. All right. I still want to try like do like a reaction, but again, it's pretty much, if it happens, it happens. But like, these types of videos are not disturbing. It's just shocking, disappointingly shocking that you got kids that's still like kind of in their diapers, going off, waving guns around, and I mean, just for no reason. And here's what baffles me about this. You would think that, okay, the moment you be 10 years old, like before you hit 10 years old, like from, let's say, from age 5 to 10, this is when you talk to your kids to know the definition of right or wrong, right? To where, like, doing this, that's a no-no. Doing that, that's a no-no. So doing this gets you in trouble, and you still go out there and do it. Don't you dare call me. Don't you dare talk to me or try to help you get out of this. It doesn't work like that. All right? I told you right from wrong before you stepped outside, and you still go outside and do it and try to put the blame on someone else when there's raw footage of you doing that. You still gonna lie? Like, you know how embarrassing that makes you? Like, yo, just, if you come out clean, then okay, at least you was honest about it. But no, I wasn't there. It wasn't me. That was my car? Someone took my car. Like, just, bruh, we saw you driving the car. We saw you with the gun and everything. And you go back in the car and drive off too? Like, okay, alright, man. But, chat, hey, listen, hope y'all have a good day, man. And if y'all, like, look, a short message. If you're going to be a parent, make sure you teach your kids right from wrong. Like, even if you got to cram that knowledge into their skull. No, not even a pun intended on that. Not even a pun intended on that. Just cram the knowledge. Make sure they learn and understand right from wrong. Okay? Make sure they understand. Because I'm telling you right now, the moment you see them hanging out with the wrong crowd, you don't force them to not be friends with that person or people. Because I've seen shows before to where you do stuff like that, they're going to do it anyway. Especially like before they hit teenager. I'm telling you, when they hit teenager, that is when it's going to get even more difficult, because they're going to be thinking, I'm an adult. I can do and say whatever I want. Right? I'm a big kid now. Okay. Big kid. Okay. There's been kids bigger than you that just straight up on their knees crying for forgiveness. So, hey, all I can say is keep that same energy when trouble comes your way. That's all I can say. As soon as they say 40, 50 years, you better not shed a tear. Remember, you're a big kid now. You're a grown up, right? You can do and say whatever you want, right? That's just, I mean, carrying a rifle. They got pistols, you got a rifle. Did you take a shot? No, I did not. Bro, you had a rifle. You brought a rifle to this, and you gonna say I did not shoot. Okay. Chat, I hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all stay safe, man. Like, for real. Because it's like times getting worse. We're in the new year, but times just only going to get worse. It's going to. But, yeah, I'm going to try to, like, I'm going to try to see if I can, like, have time to, like, play a game today. I'm going to see. But, hope you have a good day, y'all. Stay safe, and, yeah. Peace out, y'all. Just, these kids, man.